Mr. Herman Cain, we are at a film party, and I want to say once again thank you for taking a few minutes with GraniteGrok.com.
Thank you.
I've got 3 questions to ask you as I watch the blogosphere. 3 things are seemingly popular now.
Right.
I see that one of the first issues of oppositional research is kind of floating its way up.
Right.
About your support for TARP. That's one question. The second question is your involvement with the Fed. There's a strong libertarian leaning here in New Hampshire that a lot of Ron Paul followers want to end the Fed, and you're on target for saying, literally on target for saying, mend it, don't end it.
Right.
And then I'd like to also ask, as a personal interest of mine, you had once said that you would not have a Muslim in your cabinet, and now you have walked that back. So I'm hoping that you would be willing to address those 3 questions.
Number one, on the TARP, I supported the concept of TARP, but then when the implementation started to happen and the government, the administrations were selecting winners and losers, and they showed more discretion rather than being fair to everybody, I didn't agree with that point. So in other words, we didn't know what the implementation was going to be until after they started implementing it.
Now, are you on record at any point saying this is the wrong thing to do? Because I do remember they said TARP was supposed to be one thing, and then they turned around and used it for a different.
They used it for something else. Right. Yes. So I agree with the concept until they used it for something else, which I didn't agree with. You know, and so I did say I supported TARP. But when people just be fair. I supported the concept of TARP, but I did not support the implementation of TARP.
And for those who felt that they should have let some of those institutions fail, like GM, like Chrysler, some of the too big to fail banks, let them fail anyway, so it would have hurt maybe a little bit more, gotten out of this problem sooner.
I don't support the too big to fail theory. I would have allowed them to fail. I would have allowed General Motors to go bankrupt so they could restructure like every other American business without the government coming in. And I talked about this on my radio show. So, you know, yes, I agree with TARP, but not the implementation, not the picking of choosing the winners and losers. Let me go through the Fed real quick. Fed, I served on the board of the Fed. We didn't have policies like they have today. I'm not ashamed that I served on the board of the Fed. We didn't have a $14 trillion debt. We had monetary policy that was sound. And I don't agree with ending the Fed. I agree with fixing the Fed. The Fed has been given one arrow and 2 targets. One target is stability of our currency, controlling inflation, and the other one is try to keep unemployment down. You can't hit 2 targets with 1 arrow. This is what I mean by fix the Fed. Now, to the people who want to end the Fed, I give them a question back. What are you going to replace it with? And nobody can tell me what they want to replace it with. Yes, if you go back in history, that was a time when we were just fine without the Fed. That was in 1913. What are you going to replace it with? Because there are a lot of different things that have unintended consequences now that we didn't have then. Let me get to the Muslim comment. And you're right. This is floating around on the internet. And I hope that everybody sees my response on your website. Because, quite honestly, I'm sick of answering the same question over and over and over. I'm trying to run for president, and I want to talk about these big issues. I didn't say I wouldn't have a Muslim in my cabinet. If they look up the actual transcript, it says, I was asked, would you be comfortable with the Muslim in your cabinet? I said no. So I'm not backpedaling.
And from what I understand, this was a question asked to you by Lee Fang of Think Progress, a very left-leaning, progressive, George Soros-funded website.
Yes.
And I do put it that way because we need to know we cannot fight an enemy.
Right.
We cannot name that enemy.
All right. This guy worked for Huffington Post. I don't remember the other affiliated organization. It was in the middle of a barrage of questions from a barrage of reporters. And they were asking me about the economy. They were asking about integration. They were asking me to explain this. And then out of the blue, this guy asked me, would I be comfortable with the Muslim in my cabinet? Where did that question come from? And so I was honest. No. But did I say absolutely I wouldn't have a Muslim in my cabinet? I did not say that. And if you read the transcript, you will see. All my career, I have hired the best people, irregardless of race, creed, color, religion, orientation, or any of that. I look for the best people. The question was, would I be comfortable? Now, why would I be uncomfortable? because there are some people in this country who want to infuse Sharia law in our courts. I adamantly disagree with that. And if I talk to someone who believes in Sharia law more than they believe in the Constitution, no, I'm not comfortable having somebody like that in my administration. American laws, American courts. So some people have misconstrued what I said. Some people have said that I'm now walking back from it. Read it. I said I wouldn't be comfortable, and I've explained what that meant. Constitution first, not Sharia law.
Mr. Cain, once again, I want to say thank you for taking a few minutes with GraniteGrok. I know that you're about to launch a barrage on Mr. Matt Murphy because you need food, and I can't blame you. So
Thanks, Skip. I've enjoyed it again.